A very harmonious weekend lays ahead of us to enjoy, but that does not mean relaxing. It's about seeing new opportunities and growing our horizons. So sit back, relax, let's explore the cosmic energies, and together we can gain a sense of understanding of how we can embrace this cosmic force, how we can utilize the cosmic forces to move forward today and every day. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and welcome to your weekend focus for July the 1st and 2nd, 2023. So, thanks for being here, and thank you for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy that you send me each and every day. I'm back. Thank you for allowing me a little bit of rest there. Jet lag is like, wow, it really kicks you in the keister, doesn't it? So, anyways, I'm back. I'm feeling better. I had a nap today, and that's probably why I have a lot of energy now. Anyways, let's get to it. On Saturday we have a one energy. So the one energy is the I am energy. Whenever we experience a one energy, it's about looking at self. It's about looking at our independence. It's about looking at how we are blazing our trails, stepping into new opportunities. And if we look at the numerology of the day, of course, July is now a 7 energy. So I'll have to get a video out about that. So 7 plus 1 plus 7 is a 15 energy. And the 15 energy asks us to look at our behaviors, our habits, and what is serving us, what is pulling us down, what is holding us back. Okay, and it could be pulling us back, maybe it's our time, it's our energy, or it's our resources. It doesn't allow us to move forward in the way we want because of certain habits, certain behaviors. Now, if we add that together, a 1 plus 5, it would become a 6 energy. And the 6 energy is about, well, it is a love energy, so it is about growing our relationships deeper. But it's also about our health and well being and taking care of ourselves. So, are we giving ourselves the right diet, the right exercise, the right amount of sleep? Do we care for ourselves? Do we talk to ourselves in a very positive manner? Do we tell ourselves how great we are, or do we pull ourselves down? So watch your habits, watch your behaviors around your health, your well-being, and are you taking care of yourself in the most optimal way you can? Now on Sunday we would have a 2 energy. And the 2 energy is about looking within. It's about sitting in quiet contemplation, definitely, and looking within and realizing the magic that you already carry with you. Okay, your talents, your abilities, the unique you. Okay, everybody carries around their own magic. And it's about understanding that magic that is within us and bringing it outwards and utilizing that magic to grow our abundance, to grow our, take our thoughts, take our dreams, take our goals and make them into realities in our life. If we added the energy together, it'd be a 7 plus a 2 plus a 7, which would give us a 16 energy, and the 16 energy is all about awakenings. It's allowing a certain part of your life to just fall away so that you can go forward without something pulling you down, weighing you down. Now, many times under a 16 energy, something happens and we don't look at it as a great experience. In fact, we look at it as a detrimental experience in our life. But know that this energy would never take away something that you need to go forward, but it was actually pulling you back. Maybe you realized it at the time. Maybe you won't realize it until you walk a couple of years and then you look back and you go, wow, I didn't know how that was suffocating me. I didn't know how stressful of a situation I was in and day out. I didn't understand what that environment was doing to me. So as much as you can, embrace anything that happens to you on a 16 energy day, okay, because it is about awakenings to new paths that we can walk, new abundance that we can step into, new friendships that we can create. The sun is in Cancer for the weekend. The moon is in Sagittarius, and it moves into Capricorn around midday on Sunday. And before we look at today's astrology, I want to backtrack, or this weekend's astrology, I should say, backtrack to the 29th, to Friday. because on Friday, Neptune went stationary retrograde. Now, this is one of my most favorite retrogrades, okay? Because what happens when Neptune is going forward? We see, our dreams, our fantasies, our wants, our desires, our passions, and they all come alive, and we're led down this trail of, the what ifs and what we can have. And sometimes we get caught up in that fantasy. Also, we could be in a relationship and we have been ignoring those little red flags that have been popping up lately because we only want to see what we want to see and we don't see what we should be seeing. And so when Neptune goes retrograde, it says, whoa, put on the brakes here. Were you thinking clearly when you made this decision? Or was it based truly on a fantasy of something that can't be an actuality or a reality? It's not practical. It doesn't, there's no way of really truly walking that. We're waiting for this magic wand to appear and presto, right? Wiggle your nose and the dishes are done kind of energy. And so we start to see where in our lives maybe we made decisions based on what we wanted to happen rather than what we knew was going to happen. And so it's about backtracking a little bit. And this could be our steps towards goals and dreams and desires. And we've just been approaching it the wrong way. So we've been running into these walls and we don't know why. And that's because we allowed our fantasy to take over the practicality that needs to be in any kind of plan or strategy to move forward in our life. Okay. So this is going to be with us for a while. So be open to what you see and don't say, oh, you're so stupid. Why would you even do something like that? Why weren't you thinking? Why didn't you see that red flag? And do not berate yourself. Okay? We're all affected by Neptune, and we all will have our little pitfalls in life because of Neptune and the dreamscape. But it's out of those dreamscapes that we are allowed to take something from that and make it practical. So maybe it won't work like that, but wow, if I went this way, it stands a chance of succeeding. So it's about reevaluating and relooking at things in order to give that dream, that desire, that fantasy some practicality and some chance at success in our lives going forward. Now, the Sun conjuncts Mercury. And so this is a time definitely of mental alertness, quick thinking, adaptability. We're more curious under this energy. We'll be having those personal interactions. We'll be talking more with the people in the lineup, strangers within the neighborhood, within the community. On the internet, we could be texting a lot more or sharing TikToks a lot more or whatever we do in order to reach out and communicate to others. But definitely when we have something as wonderful as the Sun conjuncting Mercury, it gives our voice magic. It allows us to, and not only our voice, but our thoughts. So this is definitely a time when we can, expand that horizon in our life. Okay, it's a good idea, or a good time, I should say, to share ideas. I'm moving too fast with my mouth again. Making plans, negotiating, meeting new people, socializing, getting out there. Socializing, with intent. And if you're trying to seek a job, but the job hasn't really been invented yet, but the guy who runs the company, or the gal who runs the company, and so you found out they're going to be at this event, so you're going to be at that event, and hopefully your paths will cross, and you'll start a conversation, and they'll see your worth and your value, and want to give you that job that you are imagining under that Neptune going forward. But now we're adding some practicality. They're not going to come and knock at my door. I've got to go out there and search now for that job to be. Now, Mercury and the Sun being conjunct in the sky are also sextiling Jupiter. Okay, so that just only adds to a weekend filled with harmony. Okay, Mercury brings in the energy of a time to consider, to plan our futures, for positive thinking and growing our horizons. Absolutely. The Sun brings in this energy of, optimism, good luck, happiness. And the Sun, because it is the I am, we could be looking towards material or spiritual growth. And when we do so, we can trip over opportunities. Opportunities to increase our abundance and increase our wealth, perhaps. We could also trip over educational opportunities, or maybe it's through travel. I know the last time I traveled, wow, I had an immense history lesson. It was just, I had my mom's stories of the war, and then I went and heard the stories of the war and threaded those together. And they became a more realistic view of, when she said she got in trouble. Oh, she didn't say how much she got in trouble. Oh my goodness, it's a wonder she lived through but my mom was a very independent, strong woman. She was quiet, but she was strong. Absolutely. And she was willing to take a risk, an educated risk. So, with us too, travel opportunities could bring in opportunities or knowledge in order to step into different opportunities, projects, and tasks to start. Now, on Sunday, we have a little bit of a test with Venus squaring Uranus. Okay, we have an increased need for freedom, we have an increased need for excitement. And so that could test our patience with a loved one, a good friend, a spouse, a lover, a child, an aunt, an uncle, whatever it might be, okay? Or it could lead to wandering eyes. So, just take a step back, okay? The grass may look greener on the other side of the fence, but actually, once you actually land on that grass, you find out it's just artificial turf. You really kind of have to watch that kind of energy. So, anyways, let's turn to the cards, shall we? So I had an excellent time in the Netherlands. People are asking me what was my favorite part. I really don't have a favorite part. Every day, every single day was an adventure. Every single day. And I can't put the majority of the trip into actual words. The stories will come out. Okay, I'll be sharing some stories probably about my mom and some of the stories she gave us about her being a child during the war. But let's turn to the cards and see what our weekend is going to be like according to the cards. And look at this, the Seven of Swords is actually. So, even though we're feeling all optimistic and we want to share and we want to talk and everything, I'd be a little cautious about who I'm actually talking to, who I'm sharing, my dreams, my hopes, my what I feel is my potential to go forward in a certain path. And they may act like they're on board with you, but chances are they're going to take that information and stab you in the back in some way. They're not being very truthful. They're pretending to be a friend only to trip you up later down the road. Okay, the one example I can use with this so clearly is you go into the office on Monday morning. I know it's a weekend focus, but just go with me on this. You go into the office on Monday morning and you go to your buddy who you've gone out for drinks and you've been over to the family's house, whatever, and you say to him, you know what? I had a brilliant idea on the weekend. What if we were to implement this in the office? And you lay it all out for them and they listen and you talk about it. There's a little bit of discussion. And what do you think? That's a great idea. And then you run off to the washroom before your shift starts and everything, and you come back to see your friend in the office with the boss, and they're shaking hands because your friend just shared that whole idea as their own, completely took it away from you. So you have to be careful of who you're sharing your most intimate goals, plans, strategies, projections for the future with under this energy, I believe, this weekend. And that's not to say that you're not going to share it, but only with the people that you truly trust and love in your life. They've got your back. Our first card is, look at this, the High Priestess. The second card comes out, and what does the High Priestess ask us? To look within and contemplate on the magic that we hold within us. Yes, when the High Priestess shows up, that means magic is all around us. Our spirituality is so much stronger. So our intuition is higher, that gut feeling. If we listen to it, it's going to steer us in the right direction. But it's about understanding the magic that is within you as well, and what you can do, what your potential is. Most people go through life not even scratching the surface of their potential. This is the kind of weekend to give it a little scratch and see what comes of it. You might be amazed. You might be on a whole new path because of it. The Eight of Wands, this is about expanding our horizons. Now, the eight is a symbol of wealth. It's a symbol of abundance in the pocket, so to speak. The eight energy also says that you're going to need courage and strength to walk the path in order to obtain that. And a sense of integrity. But here we are. And I always see like a giant, okay? He's out of the card. We can't see him. But he's got a bow full of wands and he's pulling it back and boom. They all take off at once, and we're sitting there and we're looking down like we're at it, like maybe somebody teeing off on a golf course, and we're all looking down the fairway, right, to see where that ball's gonna go. And we've got to watch all these wands go to different avenues, and so we have to learn that we can't be so narrow-minded that we want this and this is how it's going to turn out. We have to say we want this, and then follow the path and see where it leads. And see where they join up and see where they separate. Because each part of that journey has growth opportunities. Each part of that journey. And every one of them has growth on them. Every one of them holds at least one leaf. There's a water behind us, so it now it's muddied, right? But it's our emotion. So maybe we're, there's a little bit of holding our breath to what may lay as our next step of where we might need to step. A little bit of apprehension, like maybe you have been pushing yourself a little bit, and it's like, wow, where is this really going to lead? But that's okay. And it's okay to have the waters muddied every so often. And to talk about our emotion and our feelings and how we feel about each other. What's been bothering us? What do we love? And we're not going to be able to really see when each wand lands what that opportunity really is. We have to go on almost a blind faith, a belief that we need to go in that direction. And if you start to go in a direction and something bad happens and then you straighten it up and another thing bad happens and then another thing, there's a pattern there telling you this might not be the way you want to go. We keep setting up roadblocks for you, and you look over here just a little bit. So this is really definitely about widening our horizons. If something isn't working for you, and maybe you're very close to what you need to do, but this isn't the way. And maybe it's about taking a step back and looking at the wider picture, the bigger picture of what you want to succeed in, where you want to go. We have the Judgment card. So, first of all, don't be too judgmental with yourself, okay? Forgive yourself. Allow yourself that forgiveness that you would give to anybody else in the world. Give it to yourself. Love yourself. Okay? Just don't talk about doing things, do them. Okay, because when the rewards come around, it goes on your hard work, your effort, your perseverance, your strength, your courage that you applied in order to take those steps forward. And so the rewards are equal to that under this energy, especially when it's in the middle like that. We have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is rolling up your sleeves and getting to work. With intention. With a perseverance. But also with a love. Like, it's something that you want to do, so enjoy it. Okay, so often we consider, okay, we want to start our own business. So, it's going to take, what do we say? Work. We don't want to do it because it's work. We've been trained since birth that work means we're not going to enjoy it. So you just change the word. Just change the word and watch. I counseled one person and they started saying, I can't wait to get to work because it's going to be so much fun today. I can't wait to get on the job because it's going to be so much fun today. And they told me that it worked. It took a while, but each day got a little bit easier and easier to make that drive to work because it changed their perception. So maybe it's your perception that needs to be changed. The words you're using. to describe it. Here we hold the paintbrush to our tomorrow. We are actually the creators of our tomorrow. But we have to show up and we have to do the work. We have to do each and every brush stroke in order for the masterpiece to transform into a reality. And the Star card. Strong energy. The Star card is here to say you can make the impossible possible. That you see the way forward, and maybe you didn't see it with your eyes or hear it with your ears, or maybe you didn't touch it or smell it or taste it, but something else deep inside of you called you and said, go in this direction, try this, talk to that person, turn left here. Sometimes we listen to that voice, sometimes we ignore that voice. And I have learned that sometimes it's uncomfortable, but I've actually I will walk up to somebody and say, I just love your outfit, or you have beautiful eyes, or I love that piece of jewelry, and I do. It's not something that, I'm trying to find it, but when I see something of beauty, when I see something I love, when I see something that made me smile, I want to share it with that person that they did bring that joy into my life in that moment. And we both feel better when we walk away from those experiences. It becomes something that you want to do, because you just feel so great about that moment. And when we can feel great about that moment, that's when we're raising the vibration of our energy to bring in those things that we want to bring in, because they'd already be in our lives if we were the same vibration as it. Well, we're imagining something with a better, greater, stronger vibration. And so we have to raise ourselves up to that. Anyways, making the impossible possible is a definite possibility in this weekend's energy for you. So look outside the box. Watch where all those wands may fly. You might have a dream, or you might open up a book and it says, have you done these 8 steps? And you said, oh my gosh, I only done 1. It's a time to, stretch the horizon to the different things that you need to invite into your life in order to be successful down the road. Maybe it is travel. Maybe it is a learning experience. Maybe it's just that conversation you have with another person that leads to a remarkable future. But for each and every one of those things, we need to show up, right? My goodness, these cards didn't want to cooperate. Nature's whispers, be gentle with yourself. The 33 energy. The 33 energy is about being the healer of the world in many ways. And anybody who has the 33 energy for their walk in life, they're always kind of up there on my prayer list, because it is a hard walk, and it's not until the later years that they survive what they have to go through, because in order to help another, they have to live the experience. So be gentle with yourself. You go through struggles so that one day you can help another. You go through struggles to make yourself stronger and more complete, to fill yourself with wisdom and knowledge. You wouldn't get that wisdom, you wouldn't get that knowledge if you didn't go through the experience. As hard as it was, you survived, you're here. And the next one, you'll get through that one too. But you got to stop being so hard on yourself. You got to stop putting yourself up there on that pedestal that nobody could be that perfect. I am enough. Maybe I'm not perfect in a lot of places, but I am enough. And that makes me deserving, and that makes me worthy. So a time of new birth and energy is upon you. Draw on the lessons you have learned to assist you in moving forward. Notice how you have grown and changed as a result of everything that has transpired. Gather information as you go and be ready for the new adventure. All signs are positive for successful outcomes at this time. I kid you not. That's what the card says. Anyways, let's go to our animals here. It's so nice to be back. You know, as I don't, I said to my aunt, I talked to her today, and I said, I'm kind of glad to be home because I don't know if I could have taken one more adventure because it was like 21, 22 days of just total adventure. So every day we woke up and it was like, what are we doing? You couldn't wait to start your day. Our animal is the horse, Freedom. Oh, remember Abe told me the thing about my nail polish? Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and of strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. So the horse is here for freedom. Look at that. Now it comes in nice and clear now that I'm done reading it. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. So go out there this weekend. Start to accomplish your dreams. Go with the flow. When things happen, talk and roll, okay? And embrace this weekend because it gives us a lot of beautiful, optimistic energy to go forward. And now that we have Neptune going stationary, retrograde, eventually it'll start to move very slowly backwards. And it will open our eyes to where we have trusted too much or maybe got duped in some way. Maybe we duped ourselves. It takes off the blinders. It lets us see what's in front of us and what red flags are waving in different areas of our life so that we can be strong, so that we can take care of those things, so that we can put some kind of practicality underneath there for support and going forward on our path. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.